So detached homes have really separated themselves from the condominium market, and I will tell you, that was that run. And what's going to happen, the market's going to level itself, because the detached homes had a really big run. The market's going to level itself, and detached homes are going to make another big run when it's time. When the market starts to go again, you're going to see detached homes do a big, huge run. And the big reason for that, for those of you who've listened in on this show over the last few years, you know that detached homes is one of the housing segments that is not being developed. It is rare to find detached homes being developed in urban areas.
Unless they're like estates.
So you're seeing...
Which is very expensive, right? Yeah.
Right. So you're seeing lots of condos, you're seeing lots of townhouses. And townhouses is the new detached in a sense.
Yeah.
Because you kind of got, a yard. Not with all townhouses, but with some of them. And so, hey, Barry, you want to join us?
Hey,
Okay.
dude.
So detached homes are definitely a gem. There's something that they're not actually being built. And so while condominiums and townhouses are feeding the marketplace, detached homes aren't being developed. So in a few years, when we have a run on real estate again, what we're going to find is that there are not very many detached homes for people. And hey, we never stop dreaming. That's the one thing that you will realize about Canadians. We don't stop dreaming. We want to have our own piece of land. It's called the Canadian dream, the white picket fence. That's what it always used to be. We don't see white picket fences anymore. However, we still dream to have the house where our children can run and play in the backyard, where we can park a couple of cars in the front, one for the wife, one for the husband, so that, they can go out and do the things and multitask and take their kids to soccer. One's going to soccer, the other one's going to ballet, and they're different times and their lives are hectic, and that's why they need the vehicles. It isn't going to be an Uber world, I don't believe, because I think more and more businesses are going to be more in further distance away from our homes, because everything is going to be so expensive. But that's another thing that actually we didn't touch on.
I kind of disagree with you there with the
what?
Uber. It's not going to be an Uber world.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be
as
an Uber.
people's lives get more busy and more
Mm-hmm.
with the kids, with full-time work, with picking them up, driving them here and there. We know, like Anthony has 3 kids, and he's on the go he teaches all day, and he's on the go every evening with the kids.
Yeah. So where's Uber come in there?
Uber to have your dinner delivered to like.
Oh no, I'm not, I was talking. Sorry, we're talking about on different things. I'm talking about Uber with respects to the families getting around. Because you would never put your child in Uber to go to the dance or something.
No, so that's why you use Uber in other parts of your life to make that easier, because you're not going to take away from your child. If your child wants to do 5 different activities, they're going to do it. So you have to find another way to make time.
So I agree with what you're saying. I think what I was referring to was that we're still going to want 2 vehicles. It's not going to be an Uber world where we can live in the condominium. We don't have 2 vehicles. We have a townhouse. We don't, and so that's what I meant. But I do agree with you. Uber has so many different applications, and I wasn't considering any of them other than we need a 2-car garage and we need our own backyard where we can have our own toys for our kids. We need, even renting out the basement. You're going to find I know it's going to become something in order to own the home, but I'll tell you, having all the toys that you want to have for your children, because that's our dream. Our dream, a lot of times when we get together, is to have children. That's the glue that holds it all together. I think, not for everyone, but it certainly was for us. As a matter of fact, you waited and waited and waited to marry me until you were ready to have children. You were like, I don't know if I want to marry this guy. I'm going to wait and just see. And then you decide, okay, I want to have children, let's get married. And so it was like that. And so then our whole world becomes about the children. So that's where the backyard comes in. That's where having your basement and your basement toys down there, and your house turns into your child's playground. And that's just kind of how life works. So I think we're always going to want that detached dream. And the fact that they're not building it, what they're building is studio apartments, bachelor apartments, 1 bedrooms, and a 500 square foot 2 bedroom, and a 600 square foot 3 bedroom. These little tiny things, they're not conducive to having a family environment. I know that you can pick up and you can go down to the bowling alley or go down to the swimming pool, or you can go down to maybe even the tennis courts if you're in a really cool condominium complex. But the area that you live in is so small that it will become very challenging to have your families in that space. As a matter of fact, what we noticed during COVID is that when the government shut things down, they sort of forced the family to be together. The husband and the wife is both at home. They can't go off to work. So now they're in with each other for 24 hours. And then take the kids. They're not in school. They're in the same house. What we see happen during COVID? Everybody and their dog selling their house and buying a bigger house, because there was no way that they could keep a happy, loving family in the space that they had if they all had to be together.
But did they all think that at some point this was going to change? We weren't going to be in COVID forever. So, you know, eventually you're going to have to drive back to work. I mean, a lot of companies decided, wow, this is working. I don't need all that overhead costs for a huge building and that. But, you know, like at some point, things were going to come back to some form of normality.
Okay, so I agree with that, but at the time, they still had to keep their families.
Yeah.
Right? Because if they didn't do something, they were going to lose their families. So, because it was just too much to be in that space 24. You and I, we live together, we work together, we play together.
We do everything together.
So for us, it wasn't any change.
No.
So because we're always together. However, a lot of families aren't like that. The husband goes off to his work, wife goes off to their work, and then their activities with the kids, and they're separated to make sure their kids are doing all they want, and they just kind of see each other later. Thank you for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it. And please let us know your thoughts in the comments, as well as any questions you may have. We're live most Saturdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so make sure to tune in. If you're interested in learning more about real estate, click the link in the description to sign up, and we'll send you a series of educational videos all about real estate. Thank you again for watching, and remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon so you can stay up to date on all our future uploads.